Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another video. First things first, guys, make sure you smash a like and please subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. And let's dive into today's video then. I'm going to be discussing 5 key issues that Pochettino needs to address at Chelsea ahead of a tough run of fixtures coming up. Now, I just want to caveat this by saying, by no means am I saying Pochettino is under pressure or whatever. Yes, we're in the bottom half of the table. It's no disappointing start to the season, but no reports are saying that he's under any sort of imminent pressure. No more pressure than is usual for a Chelsea manager to be under. But let's be fair, though, people. Monday's trip to Spurs, he's coming under increased scrutiny. A return to his old club, coupled with the fact that Spurs are doing very well, us not doing as well. And look, in our next run of fixtures, it could tell us a lot about Poch and a lot about this Chelsea team. We've got Spurs, City, Newcastle, Brighton, and Man United in the next 5 Premier League games. So there are some key problems that do need to be fixed. And some of these problems that are holding Chelsea back at the moment, guys. And let me kick it off with the first one. It's an obvious one. It's been a problem for a long time. A lack of goals. You've got big goal scoring problems in the team. Yes, we've scored a few more goals recently, but we still have a lack of regular goals in the team. It continues to hurt us, and it's our single biggest issue. Yes, we spent hundreds of millions of pounds on the attack. Your Mudryks, your Sterlings, your Maduekes, your Cole Palmers, your Nicholas Jacksons, etc. Your Nkunku's. Yes, we've obviously not been able to use him, and that's a fair thing to say that he could make a big difference. But Nicholas Jackson, despite his good qualities that he has, is not ready to lead the line for Chelsea. 46 games for Villarreal, and he's thrust straight into leading the line for a massive club in the Premier League. It's not fair on him. He's not ready. He looks very short on confidence, and just the 3 goals in 11 Premier League matches. Sterling, Palmer, and Mudryk, to be fair, have shown glimpses of quality, but we are still massively underperforming our XG. Yes, XG, is like stats aren't a be all and end all, but it's clear, that we are creating a lot of chances. But once again, these players are not taking the chances. We're massively underperforming our expected goals, which is really frustrating. And do you know what? If the season was done on XG, then we would only have lost 1 game this season. So yeah, it just goes to show the struggles we're having in attack. Now, of course, the club have got huge hopes on Christopher Nkunku transforming the attack when he returns. Hopeful debut against Newcastle 25th of November after the international break. And it's clear through pre-season and stuff that Poch clearly planned to build his front line, around the big money signing from Leipzig. And yeah, his availability could get the Blues firing. Of course it could. But we've got to be clear that, this guy's not played a single minute of competitive football for us, hasn't kicked a ball in the Premier League, had a promising pre-season, not played any football for 4 months. So yeah, we've got to keep the pressure down on him, not just pin all our hopes on him and expect him to instantly transform this team, because that absolutely isn't going to happen. But hopefully he will make some sort of a difference to this attack. He simply has to. The next issue that needs to be sorting out, and hopefully, it's on the way to being sorted out. We saw Reece James's fitness. We saw him play a few minutes against Arsenal, few more minutes against Brentford, and then an hour against Blackburn. So we're slowly building him up. Hopefully he can feature for at least an hour or more against Spurs on Monday. Look, there's no doubt, let's be perfectly clear here, Reece James is one of, if not the best right back in world football when he's fully fit. Problem is, he's not always fully fit, and that is a big issue. He's made 2 substitute appearances and 1 start since obviously being out with a hamstring injury after the first game of the season against Liverpool. Look, obviously the club have decided to not go down the surgery route because he doesn't want to be out for a prolonged period of time. However, Badiashile did do the surgery. He's been out for about 5 months. But Reece, with all these injuries he's picked up, probably would have been better off getting the surgery anyway, because he's probably been out for at least 5 months or more through all these separate issues, But from what I've been reading, etc., Poch believes that his training methods are going to help James get over his hamstring issues. Let's hope so. But what's mad is as well, these hamstring issues have caused Reece James, and I found a stat the other day saying that he's missed almost 50% of Chelsea's games since he broke through into the side. Look, James is so important. There's no doubt about it. He's exceptional defensively and he's exceptional getting forward. And he can absolutely be a difference maker in this team for us. He can do both sides of the games. It allows Poch. He will allow Poch to make sort of even more in-game sort of tactical changes. And he's got an eye for goal as well. And his crossing ability, and also his crossing ability could help ease the goal scoring woes as well. Another creative outlet. He can pop up with a goal as well. So that might help ease the goal scoring issues. But that is something that we've got to get on top on as Reece James's fitness and get him back to full fitness and fully firing as quickly as possible. The third thing I wanted to address, people, we're looking very vulnerable on the counter attack. And that is something that we need to fix up on big time. We've conceded breakaway goals to West Ham, and most notably in the 3 defeats at home so far, Forest, Villa and Brentford, all on the counter attack. But problem is, yes, we're obviously under Poch, we're employing a possession-based style, and that's meant to help us keep control in matches. But the problem is, because we're so inefficient in front of goal, it leaves us massively vulnerable. We've seen when opponents come and set out with a low block and they try to hit us on the counter-attack, they have great success. And the blueprint is clear to beat us. It's clear that, Poch, has said as such himself, he wants us to be, not in the sense that he wants us to be more like Man City, but like Man City in a sense where more tactical fouls are made and more timely sort of defensive interventions, etc. So we've got to find the right balance between the defense and the attack, because right now we are far too vulnerable on transition and counter attack. Sorry, that cannot continue, because otherwise teams are going to just keep picking us off and we're going to lose matches that we shouldn't be losing. So that is something that we've got to fix up on. Got to stop being so vulnerable on the counter attack. Be a little bit more streetwise, be a bit more dirty, I suppose, in terms of more tactical fouls, break in, play up, etc. All those sort of things. We just need to get a bit more streetwise, I would say. But then again, that's going to come with experience. There's not a lot of experience in the team, not a lot of know-how in the team at this level, at this point in time. My fourth issue that we clearly need to address, dealing with adversity. There's always going to be, you're always going to face adversity at Chelsea and as a Chelsea manager. And Poch has, bemoaned it himself. The way that, and it's not a new thing, the way that Chelsea, our heads just drop if things aren't going our way. I think he was asked after the Brentford game, I remember, he was asked if the mood in the team changed once Brentford opened the scoring. And Poch's response was, I think it changed before adding, I think he added, if I'm reading this correctly, let me just get to it quickly now. Yeah, you have to be calm as a character and say, hey, let's play the way we should play the game. For that to happen, you need maturity. So it's so clear that he knows this, but a lack of experience in the team could be a massive factor. And I think it is a massive factor behind our seeming declines, particularly in second halves of games when we sort of when the players stray away from their structure and we just go a little bit rogue. And then obviously that desperation, leads to more long shots. These are deep crosses, and rivals opposition just deal with it very comfortably. So we've got to get better at dealing with adversity, not letting our heads drop, and just stick to the plan and play the way that we want to play and have been instructed to play by the gaffer. And that's really, really important that the senior players in the team, yes, I know there's not many of those, don't allow heads to drop and tell everyone to stay to the structure and stick to task. And my final point is, and probably one of the most important points, the home form has got to improve. It is absolutely shocking. I mean, so far, Poch has not been able to find a solution to the dogshit form at the Bridge. Luton are the only team that we've managed to beat in the 13 Premier League home matches, obviously going back to the back end of last season as well. And Poch has said himself, that the players have lost the trust of the supporters. And yeah, of course, as supporters, we have to demand more from a squad, from a very expensively assembled squad. But you've got to, it's a difficult thing, because he's got to stop a run of poor performances, but those poor performances in turn feed into a shit atmosphere at the Bridge as well. Now, as supporters, you've got to get behind the team. You can't only support us when they're doing well, you've got to support when we're doing shit. But it is tough to get behind the team on occasions when you just can't see anything improving, or you can't see any signs of improvement within the game. It's tough to get behind it. But hopefully, Poch is renowned for high energy, attacking style of football. He's got to find a way to rebuild that connection with the supporters. But ultimately, Chelsea is about winning. It's as simple as that. It's about winning. And he's got to start doing that more often. otherwise, I don't want to say it because it's ridiculous. I don't want to put pressure on the manager, but the Chelsea hot seat, it could be getting a bit uncomfortable for Poch if things don't start improving in this sort of big run of fixtures coming up. We're going to find out a lot about Poch and a lot about this Chelsea side, obviously, between now and Christmas with the run of fixtures that we have coming up. But yeah, guys, those are just my thoughts on the 5 big issues that Pochettino needs to address at Chelsea ahead of this big run of fixtures coming up. As always, smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And I'll catch you again in another video soon. Up the Chelsea and peace out, people.